20 to 8. Good morning to you. 15 million of us go to the pub every week, but how hygienic is your local? Now, 1 in 10 pubs and clubs pose a significant risk to public health, according to the latest figures from the Food Standards Agency. Elaine Wilcox joins us now from Oldham. Good morning, Elaine. That looks clean.
Absolutely. Well, I've been out with the environmental health inspectors again, and I have to say I'm very relieved to be in this very good pub. This is the Clough Manor pub, and it is spotlessly clean. It is held up as a shining example to others. But we were shocked, weren't we, Andrew, just a couple of weeks ago when we saw inside some of the country's takeaways. But it seems some of the more well-established pubs are still hiding some dirty practices too, something they don't want their customers to see.
Very long legs in that glass there. Not what you want to see in a pub though, is it? Not, definitely not, no.
This is a pub which is part of a well-known chain, but the environmental health officers were far from impressed by what they saw lurking behind the bar.
Where's your wash-hand basin?
What the bin's doing here near the wash-hand basin?
The wash-hand basin for this area has completely fallen off the wall.
Now, if you can fit a pencil through a hole, you can fit a mouse through, and that size hole a rat could get through.
And what's the danger about rats being in an area like this?
Well, they urinate over everything, and people like to drink out of the bottles sometimes, and that's what they're drinking.
And in the kitchen, a temperature probe they should have been using for cooked meats was in need of a serious clean.
It is dirty, yeah. And it's when you're touching this and then you go and touch the cooked meat that you've just probed.
That's the chef's. Look, that looks to me as if these are the boots he's cooking in, because that looks like food to me on there. So that shouldn't be there.
Last year.
And it's even in the rat box. Really?
The inspector said cleaning in this kitchen was poor and they'll be informing the owners. But it was even worse at the next pub, which had to be closed down immediately. The staff here wouldn't let us inside to film. The inspectors were horrified to see mouse droppings in the bar area right next to the clean glasses. And of course, those glasses you're drinking from could be covered in mice urine.
There's no antibacterial cleaner on site. There's mouse holes everywhere. The kitchen was really dirty.
Few landlords were prepared to allow our cameras in, but the inspectors warn they'll be back and will prosecute dirty pubs.
And that was Elaine Wilcox there. We're joined now by Catherine Kelly, who's the Food Safety Manager at Oldham Council. Very good morning to you.
Good morning, Andrew.
So what powers do you have to go in the first place? Can you just march in anywhere at any time and say, we need to see exactly what you're up to?
Yes, that's right, Andrew. We do have extremely good powers of entry. If we're not allowed in, we can prosecute for obstruction. We can serve notices. If conditions are very bad, we can prosecute. And as you can see from the filming, if there is a risk to public health, then we can close the premises immediately.
Do you think things are getting worse now that money's a bit tight? People cutting corners, maybe?
No, not necessarily. Of course, the credit crunch is affecting us all. But all good food businesses, such as this one here, know that food safety is a priority. They can't afford to cut corners on that. And if a business is implicated in a food poisoning outbreak or is prosecuted through the courts, then of course the resultant bad publicity means that customers don't go through the doors. So it's not a good business idea to ignore food safety. And of course, from our point of view, we're continually inspecting businesses behind the scenes to make sure that the food that they produce is safe to eat.
No doubt you make people very nervous when you knock on the door, though, Catherine.
Well, that may be so for some of the more rogue businesses, but in Oldham we have very good relations with our food businesses, and often they will ring us up even to go and inspect or just for general advice. But in Oldham, some of the businesses have Safer Food, Better Business or the Heartbeat Award. If consumers go on the website, Oldham MBC website, they can see those premises, and we work very closely with lots of premises so that we're continually improving food safety standards and ensuring that the food that's produced in Oldham is safe to eat.
Excellent. Catherine Kelly in Oldham, thank you very much indeed for joining us this morning.